It's story time. Time for stories with Missy Lane. That's me at the Easter Have Free Library. And I was wondering, I have a question. Have you ever heard anyone say that March comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb? Have you ever heard that? You know, this is the month now. This is March. And I was wondering what they mean by that. And I thought about it. And if you think about a lion, what do you think of? Kind of a fierce, ferocious animal. And when a lion speaks, what sound does a lion make? Does a lion say, meow? No, a lion says, roar. What about a lamb? If you think about a lamb, lambs are much smaller than lions, and they're kind of soft and fluffy. And a lamb, what the sound does a lamb make? A lamb says, bah. Because a lamb is a baby sheep. I bet you knew that. So, if March comes in like a lion, roar, and goes out like a lamb, bah, I think it means when the month of March gets started, it's still winter, and we still have some snow and cold days, and maybe windy days, and weather that's maybe not as nice as when it turns to spring. Do you know in March we go from winter to spring? March 21st is the first day of spring. And springtime, we hope, is usually sunny and warm. And you might even start to see little flowers growing. And weather gets a little calmer then. Kind of like a lamb as opposed to a lion. So, why don't we start with a book called In Like a Lion and Out Like a Lamb. And this is written by Marion Dane Bauer, and the illustrations are by Emily Arnold McCulley. Oops. And it is published by Holiday House. And there we see winter, don't we? Snow. That poor little bird is getting covered in snow. It looks cold. March comes with a roar. He rattles your windows. He scratches at your door. Oh, there he is, that lion. And if you look closely, you can see him looking in the window. Coming in like a lion. He turns snow to mud, then he tramps across your floor. Look at all the mud he's bringing in. And March comes with winter clinging to its tail. He scatters sleet and sometimes even hail. Were you expecting spring, he snickers? Well, you better reach for your slickers. Here's your slickers. They're going to need them. March comes with a pounce and a growl. Just step outside and hear him howl. If you howl back, will he go away? Not very likely. This lion means to stay and stay and stay. Oh, boy. But then, one soft morning, wind gives way to a breeze, and buds pop out on the trees. The air is full of chickadees and bumblebees. Little chickadees? Where are the chickadees? Well, they're in there somewhere, I guess, little birds. And then there's lots of different kinds of birds. And the lion takes a whiff and a sniff, and he lets out an enormous ha-choo, an enormous sneeze. And guess who comes riding in, gliding in, striding in on that big ha-choo? Who's coming in now? There's that lamb we talked about. So, where will the March lion go? Will he wander to and fro, defeated and lost, predicting frost? What's he going to do now that the lamb is coming in? Or will he skulk through the green grass, eyes scheming, teeth gleaming, just waiting for that lamb to pass? No, never. This fellow is much too clever. He finds himself a sunny spot. He stretches, yawns, and he curls into a knot. And that rumbling noise you hear, never fear, the lion is done with roaring, and now he's just snoring. He's asleep, at least until next year, right, when the lion wakes up and comes back. Today the lamb's in charge of grass and flowers, sunshine and showers, of babies small and large. It's baby animals coming out. Come all you babies, just hear March sing. Ba, she says, ba and ba again. And that's the end. Oh, not quite. It's spring. Ha-choo! And we see some of the things we see in spring. Flowers and bugs come back. And leaves and all those fun things. Before we end up with summer before you know it. But let's get through spring first. Okay. So that's our story of how March comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb. Let's hear a lion story. What would you do if a lion came to your house, but you had to hide that lion so your mom and dad wouldn't find him? Well, maybe we'll get some ideas from this book. It's called How to Hide a Lion, and it's written and illustrated by Helen Stevens, and Henry Holt and Company are the publishers of How to Hide a Lion. One hot day, a lion strolled into town to buy a hat. There he comes. He's going to the hat store. But the townspeople were scared of lions. They're chasing after him, and so the lion ran away. And he hid. Oh, he ran as fast and as far as he could. There he is running. And he hid in a house in a garden. It was a playhouse, and it belonged to a small girl named Iris. There she is. You can't hide there, said Iris, who wasn't scared of lions, but she said, this house is too small for you. It does look a little small, doesn't it? It's like he's wearing his house. They went inside so Iris could hide the lion properly, but they had to be quiet because moms and dads can be kind of funny about having a lion in the house. She's sneaking him past mom and dad. The lion let Iris comb the leaves out of his mane, and he showed her his paw where he had stepped on something sharp. I'll put a bandage on that, said Iris. It wasn't easy hiding a lion. He was just too big and too fluffy. You see him hiding behind the shower curtain while Mom's brushing her teeth? I don't know where he is here. He's in her bed. And he's too heavy, especially when he's asleep. And lions sleep a lot. I hope that branch doesn't break. Oh, that would be terrible. But when no one was looking, the lion could come out to play. And they just had to be careful not to be too noisy. Look at that, jumping on the bed with a lion. Oh, dear. Oh, somebody's looking in to see what that noise is. One evening, Iris's dad said, they still haven't found that lion. Oh, I bet he's a kind lion, said Iris from behind the sofa. Who else is behind the sofa? The lion's right there. There's no such thing as a kind lion, said her mom. All lions will eat you. The lion was worried, but Iris comforted him. Then she read him his favorite story. It was about a tiger that came to tea. He fell asleep halfway through because lions sleep a lot. And that was when everything went wrong. Oh no, what happened? Iris heard her mom coming up the stairs, but she found that it's very hard to wake a sleeping lion. However, most lions will wake up if a mom screams at them. And Mom screamed, ah, when she saw that lion. And the lion raced out of the house. It's nighttime. Oh, there he goes, running down the street. Where's he gonna go? He found a hiding place where he could still see Iris whenever she came into town. Do you see that? He found two statues of lions, and so he sat right between them to hide. Nobody noticed him, but not the townspeople, not even Iris, and certainly not the two burglars who broke into the town hall and stole every single one of the mayor's candlesticks. Look at the burglars coming down the steps, but the lion saw them. He's up there, and he sees them coming out. And what does he do? With a huge roar, he leapt off his pedestal. Oh, they look a little frightened, don't they? And he stood on both the burglars until the police came. Oh, he got them. All the townspeople were amazed, except for Iris. She said, "I told you he was a very kind lion." Well, now the lion was a hero. He didn't have to hide anymore. The townspeople held a special parade for him, and the mayor said he could have anything he wanted. The lion thought for a moment, and then he asked for... What do you think he's going to ask for? He can have anything he wants. Do you have any ideas what he might ask for? Well, let's find out. He asked for a hat, which was what he had come to town for in the first place. Do you remember that in the beginning of the story? He came to town to buy a hat. "It really suits you," said Iris. "I think it's a little small, but as long as he's happy with it." And off they went, Iris and the lion wearing his new hat. And that's the story of how to hide a lion. Okay, we're going to do a little song now. I bet a lot of you know this song already, so I hope you'll sing along with me. It's a song and a story about a lamb. We read a lion story, now we have to read a lamb story. And the song is, do you know it? Mary Had a Little Lamb. And that song was written by Sarah Josepha Hale. And I'm going to show you a picture of the person who wrote the song, Mary Had a Little Lamb. There she is. And she lived a long, long time ago, over 200 years ago. She was born in the year 1788. That's a very long time ago. So she wrote the words to Mary Had a Little Lamb, the song, but the pictures in the book were taken by this man, Bruce McMillan, who is a photographer, and he did the pictures. So, our book is published by Scholastic. Can you sing along? I hope you can. I hope you will. And this is how it goes. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow. What's fleece on a lamb? That's like the fur, right? But on the lamb, it's called fleece. And everywhere that Mary went, Mary went, Mary went. Everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. He followed her to school one day, school one day, school one day. He followed her to school one day. But that was against the rule. You can't take a lamb to school. That's against the rule. Children are all looking at this lamb. It made the children laugh and play, laugh and play, laugh and play. It made the children laugh and play to see a lamb at school. That's not something you usually see in your class. So, what's going to happen to our lamb that's not supposed to be in school? Well, the teacher had to turn him out. Out went the lamb. But still, he lingered near. There's a sign that says, "Sorry, no pets inside." But he's waiting outside, and he waited patiently about till Mary did appear. And she's surprised to see her lamb was waiting for her right there. Why does the lamb love Mary so? The eager children cry. Why does he love Mary? Well, why Mary loves the lamb, you know, the teacher did reply. She loves her lamb. He's a very cute little lamb. And so, that was our song and story about Mary Had a Little Lamb. Now, I have another song we're going to do, but first we have to make something. We could do the song before we make it, but I want to show you what I made. I made a little, like a stick puppet, and on one side I have a lion. I bet you can guess what's on the other side. It's a lamb. And I just want to show you how. If you have a paper plate at home, I had a small plate. If you have a big plate, it works on a big plate or a small one just as well. And all you have to do is draw a little face on. I did 2 circles for our eyes for the lamb or the lion. And then a little triangle shape for the nose with a little smile. Same thing with the lamb, except I gave her, well, she's not a real good triangle, is it? It's a little lopsided. But I made it kind of pink. I gave her a little pink tongue too and some pink cheeks. And I didn't even have a pink crayon, so all I did was I took my red crayon and I colored very lightly. Didn't press hard to make it look like pink because I didn't have a pink crayon. But you could do it any way you want. And you could give her eyes any color. I gave her a couple eyelashes, gave her green eyes. And then for the lion, I just had some little bits of brown paper, like you would find on a paper bag, whatever, and cut them into little strips like this and glued them around. I didn't quite finish because my glue stick started to run out of glue. But you could put his mane going all the way around. He'd look really nice. And for my lamb, I happen to have some cotton balls. Look just like this, little cotton balls. And so that I could cover more space without using up too many cotton balls, I stretched as far as I could like this. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And once I had it stretched as far as it would stretch, I glued it on. And again, probably would be a nice idea to put cotton all the way around. Now, what if you don't have cotton balls? Then you can't make a lamb? Of course you can. I made another one, just like this. And all I had were scraps of white paper, just plain old paper. I'll show you. Nothing fancy at all. Little scraps of paper like this. And what I did was I ripped some pieces. David used the scissors, just ripped them, ripped some smaller pieces, and those smaller pieces I put around my lamb. And some of them I even decided to crunch up a little bit to make him look like he has a little more fleece. And I might finish doing that too all the way around. And then I had a stick, a popsicle type stick or a straw or whatever you want, if you want to put a handle on it, or you could even just hold it. Okay? So that's how to make it. I'll show you the song we're going to sing. Do you know the song? If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. I bet you do. Well, we're going to use that tune, but we're going to sing different words, okay? So it goes like this. March comes in like a lion. And what sound did we say a lion makes? Roar, right? And then it goes out like a lamb, and the lamb goes, bah. So this is our song. March comes in like a lion with a roar. Okay. Roar. March comes in like a lion with a roar. Roar. March comes in like a lion, but goes out like a lamb. Bah! March comes in like a lion with a roar. Roar! Now we have to do the other side. March goes out like a lamb with a bah, bah. March goes out like a lamb with a bah, bah. March goes out like a lamb, but comes in like a lion. Roar! March goes out like a lamb with a bah, bah. All that roaring. So that's our song. And you can sing that. And if you want to make yourself a little lion and lamb to use while you're singing it, you can do that too. Well, we're just about done with our lion and lamb stories. I have a very favorite lion story I'd like to share with you. It's called Pierre. And Pierre is a little boy. And this is a story of how he meets a lion. It's written and illustrated by Maurice Sendak, who wrote some wonderful books like Where the Wild Things Are. Excuse me. And it's published by HarperCollins. So let's see what happens to our friend Pierre. This is the prologue. There once was a boy named Pierre who only would say, "I don't care." Read his story, my friend, for you'll find at the end that a suitable moral lives there. So we're going to learn a little something from this story. And here is chapter 1. One day, his mother said when Pierre climbed out of bed, "Good morning, darling boy. You are my only joy." Pierre said, "I don't care." "What would you like to eat?" "I don't care." "Some lovely cream of wheat?" "I don't care." "Don't sit backwards on your chair." "I don't care." "Or pour syrup in your hair." "I don't care." "You are acting like a clown." "I don't care." "And we have to go to town." "I don't care." "Don't you want to come, my dear?" "I don't care." "Would you rather stay right here?" "I don't care." And so his mother left him there. Feel free to join in on the "I don't cares," because Pierre says that after every other word, every other sentence. This is chapter 2. His father said, "Get off your head, or I will march you up to bed." And Pierre said, "I don't care." "I would think that you could see." "I don't care." "That your head is where your feet should be." "I don't care." "If you keep standing upside down." "I don't care." "We'll never ever get to town." "I don't care." "If only you would say, 'I care.'" "I don't care." "I'd let you fold the folding chair." "I don't care." So his parents left him there. They didn't take him anywhere. Now we have chapter 3 of our story. I see somebody new in the story. Now, as the night began to fall, a hungry lion paid a call. He looked Pierre right in the eye and asked him if he'd like to die, and Pierre said, "I don't care." "I can eat you, don't you see?" "I don't care." "And you'll be inside of me." "I don't care." "Then you'll never have to bother." "I don't care." "With a mother and a father." "I don't care." "Is that all you have to say?" "I don't care." "Well, then I'll eat you if I may." "I don't care." And so the lion ate Pierre. Oh dear. Now we have chapter 4 of our story. Oh, the lion doesn't look too well. Arriving home at 6 o'clock, his parents had a dreadful shock. They found the lion sick in bed, and they cried, "Oh, Pierre is surely dead." They pulled the lion by the hair. They hit him with the folding chair. His mother asked, "Where is Pierre?" And the lion answered, what do you think he said? "I don't care." His father said, "Pierre's in there." Now we have chapter 5 of our story. Looks like the lion's in a car. They rushed the lion into town. The doctor shook him up and down. And when the lion gave a roar, Pierre fell out upon the floor. He rubbed his eyes and scratched his head and laughed because he wasn't dead. His mother cried and held him tight. His father asked, "Are you all right?" And Pierre said, "I am feeling fine. Please take me home. It's 9:30. The lion said, "If you would care to climb on me, I'll take you there." And then everyone looked at Pierre, who shouted, "Yes, indeed, I care." The lion took them home to rest and stayed on as a weekend guest. And the moral of Pierre is care, right? Especially if a lion says he wants to eat you. You should care about that. You should care about a lot of things. So that's the story of Pierre by Maurice Sendak. Always been one of my favorites. I hope you enjoyed our lion and lamb stories, and maybe make a little lion lamb puppet for yourself. Okay? All right. Thanks for listening. Bye, everybody.